So you talked about Trump, the simple topic of Trump. When you're in a family conversation where this person idolizes Trump and like you said, calls him a messiah and all that. And I have to sit down and listen to that stuff. And I don't necessarily agree with it. But then to be able to be, the question is, should you be okay with that conversation, or should you seek harmony within yourself and try to see and try to sort of calm things down and not even calm things down, but like try to engage and participate, So it's very interesting how, do you need the harmony or do you just walk away?
Look, I think there's a lot to do with how we feel and the tone that delivers our message.
Yes, yes.
If we feel like that person is wrong to us, but we're okay with them having their views, there's a lot of maturity in that.
Yeah,
and then the way it comes out is a very gentle tone. Like, you're relating to him like a messiah, you're insane. You are so deluded, right? So then that person gets all uppity and against you. But if you said, you know what, I know you're pushing him up to he can do no wrong, but to me, I try to refrain from pushing anyone up on those sorts of pedestals. And I feel like if you push someone up on a pedestal where they can do no wrong, you've just shut off your critical thinking.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Immediately, because you don't need it.
Yeah.
Because he's up there. Remember we want silver bullets?
Yes.
So we don't have to think. He's latched on the Trump bosom. He's my messiah. And it's just because we are all craving certainty. We just want to trust someone implicitly.
Just like AI.
We just want to trust,
Yeah,
right?
It's interesting.
It doesn't matter who it is. You got your Elon Musk worshippers and by the way, you've also got the opposite. So you've got this person can do no wrong, and then you got the other extreme. This person can do no right.
Yes,
that is just as bad.
I like what you said. It's still resonating within me because it blocks critical thinking. It's an easy way out.
Yeah.
It just, whatever he does, he can do anything. Like he can have like 16 prostitutes now, and that person would just go, nah, he's got a reason. He's
providing for all his families, harming no one. He's helping the nation. It's none of our business what he does in his private life.
Yeah.
They'll just placate it.
And this other lady who came out and said that she had a child with Elon Musk. Just for conversation's sake, this person I know this person just loves Trump so much. Elon so much that he went, look, he's saving the planet. He's trying to save all of us with cars, and he's reducing your maintenance bills for your cars, and it's trivial. That's trivial. But you're dealing with a human's feelings that's been damaged, and you're still like, it's all right. He's saving everyone.
Also, the other thing is when you push someone up on a pedestal and they start to like it too much, they start to become a megalomaniac.
You mean the person on the pedestal?
Yeah. Because it's a euphoric drug.
Yes.
Right? And so I've had people try to push me up on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And thank goodness, it's a red flag for me.
Right.
Because they're setting you up to fall. Because no one can stay on a pedestal because it's bullshit. It's not real.
Yeah.
You will fall, and society will reclaim you down, and the counterbalance is it will push you below zero. If it pushes you too far above zero, the counterbalance is it will push you below zero, which means the more the people push you up on a pedestal,
the deeper you go.
The more the other counterbalance will demonize you as the devil.
Right.
Now look at media. Now look at politics. Elon Musk and Trump are the devil to roughly half the planet, and they're great for roughly half the planet. And to be honest with you, it's a spectrum of intensity. So there might be 20% of extremism on both sides that are so noisy.
Yes.
Right? But the moderates in the middle aren't so noisy. The ones that go, you know what, he's doing a lot of good, bad, I'm wary about him. I'm wary. And they're the swing voters, right?
Yeah.
And I think that we all should just ease off the extremes together. Yeah. And maybe that's the evolution of humanity, where we're starting to get more centered, more balanced, able to hold the space to absorb more information, get more informed as a default. And I think that hopefully with our education systems, we can engender more critical thinking for our children at a younger age. So we can say to them, do you know how your brain works? Do you know when you're stressed, you can't even see the keys on the table because your brain, the photon lights, the photon particles that bounce off those keys, your brain goes, no, I'm not going to decode them because I'm worried about something else. Even though I'm looking for keys, it's not a priority, which means you look at where the keys are and your brain won't even let you see them. And the kid will go, what? And then they'll have their experiences with that. It's called the boy look in the pantry. Mom, where's the chips? It's right in front of you. And the boy gets shocked. He goes, what?
I am that boy.
Yeah, exactly. We've all been that boy. And the girls have boy looks too.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my point is when you help a child appreciate that the brain can miss physical objects right in front of them if they're in the wrong state of mind, of biasing towards things that are more important than what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Then you get them to appreciate that managing their perception is a part of being an adult and that we are all wrong where we are stuck because there's too much ideas and opportunities to pivot at any point. So stuckness becomes a trigger into personal agency and managing perception.
Ooh.
Imagine if that happens to our young. Imagine if pain of stuckness triggers adaptation, managing our perception into balance, back into values, back into principles, back into ideas and opportunities for purpose, for inclusion, for love, for growth.
Wow. I am struggling at the moment to figure out how to do that with my child. But if you figured it out with yours, let me know.
No, I haven't figured it out. No. What I mean is that it is a work in progress.
Yeah, it is a work in progress.
Because they're captured by so many signals that polarize their thinking that for us to bring them home, it's a task within itself. But not just that. I think us doing it models it.
Yes.
So I think it's better to focus on you becoming that more and more and sharing with your child from a place of experience. And I think with that lived experience, you're able to facilitate your child into, just like you shared with me about how you held the space for him to say, do you know I don't read your mind? And then he joined that dot with you, went, but Dad, it's really hard to find the words.
Yeah.
And instead of you making him feel bad for not doing it, you just validated him. And then he felt understood.
Yeah, he was laughing and he was smiling, walking around the house. It was really interesting.
It was like a burden had lifted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool. So I think from our lived experience, we will hold a space and be very relevant to our children in ways to help them become the leaders for their well-being, their dreams, and for the citizens we want them to be in the community, It
takes conscious effort. Like,
oh my gosh, yeah. For us, be works in progress in that.
I think, it's so interesting because coming back to the bias, circling back to bias and the critical thinking, you are wired to impose your bias onto your kids, but to promote critical thinking takes awareness.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you need to really give them the space to go, okay, you like Trump? Oh, why? Oh, I like, and not demonize that and going, but it takes self-awareness and, to promote critical thinking as a parent.
Well, my family were trashing Trump and I'm listening to it and it just was one side and I knew where it was coming from. And I went, I like Trump. And I said it deliberately to be antagonistic, to shock them. And they looked at me and they didn't know what to do with that because they were in the tribe. But I'm their family. I love them to the ends of the earth. So what do you do with your brain when you're supposed to be the opposite tribe to someone who likes Trump?
Shocked.
So then I said, do you want to know why? And I pulled them in to be curious. Then I explained to them some of the things that are relevant on the other side that is being represented with Trump. But then I validated them around things that he's doing wrong and how we need to keep our wits about us to stop putting people on pedestals and demonizing the others. Like, you're on the pedestal, you're all good and you're all bad. That is not true. That's just not how life is. Water is not all good. You can drown in it. Water is not all bad because you'll dehydrate. Like nothing is all good or all bad. I know that there's an exception to every rule, but that is a weird dimension of life. Like, in other words, you can find weird scenarios where you go, yeah, but strangely, carbon is important. Yeah. You can't have no carbon, but you can't have too much carbon.
Yeah.
Like wherever you go, balance seems to be the thing. But too much, this is where I was going with this. You're going to like this.
Okay.
If you think that extremes are really bad, the extreme of thinking someone's all bad because they got a machete and they're chasing you is a good extreme to have, because you need to invest in them being demonized because they're trying to kill you.
Ooh.
So there's an exception in the rule.
Right.
Here's the next exception: balance. If you overcook balance and worship it too much, where you don't let fluctuations happen, then you will bore yourself into the mundane.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So if we can make peace with, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to flow left and right, but we're going to always angle towards something that aligns to a genuine desire to make us be proud of the life we're creating and what we're experiencing. I think we should, it's like we're artists of the moment. We're artists of the characters we're being. We're in an opposite equal reaction environment. Let's just keep shaping the clay of who we need to be, and realizing sometimes we'll shape it in a way that doesn't work, and not to go, I thought I've come this far. Why am I up on a slightly higher pedestal by now? And like, no, don't angle for that. Just angle for who you need to be that allows you to be proud.
Yes.
That's it. And
it's almost like being at peace with yourself, regardless of being at peace with whatever it is that's.
Yeah. And I think that inner peace can be achieved no matter how much chaos and conflict is happening in the outside world.
It's like being in peace with being a work in progress, because that all is in work in progress. I totally get what you're saying. And it's so important, because I feel like this is sort of building the foundation of this podcast and where we're about to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
With your stuff and my stuff. Being grounded and not being on the pedestal, because I know that drug when you're in the pedestal.
Me too, man. Me too. And so, and when you're a good articulator and you start to talk concepts that are really like interesting and exciting, the brain of the receivers wants to try to go, well, if he can explain it that well, he must actualize it in all his life.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Not true.
Yeah.
Not true. I've actualized it enough in parts of my life to know it's true, which is why I can represent it in such a compelling way. But I am such an epic work in progress.
Yes.
And I have to be a work in progress at being a work in progress. And I have to be a work in progress at being a work in progress because it's a freaking wormhole.
Yeah.
And I've had to make peace with the wormhole.
Yes. I am learning. I'm really... That's so powerful. That is so. Everything you just said there was so powerful.
I just felt the adjustment on the pedestal go up.
No.
I'm kidding.
No, it's powerful for me because I've been trying to make peace with myself, with the feelings that I'm feeling, and I always, because again, I put myself on the damn pedestal.
Yeah.
Because I've learned this for 20 years. Therefore, I should. And now I'm sort of slowly coming down. I'm literally. Every day I'm just I'm just jumping down
and it's a bit bumpy. It's like whiplash.
Whiplash, and then you have to calm yourself down. It's okay. We're coming down the pedestal.